Okay, so today we're going to be looking at the development of the USS Carney and figuring out exactly what happened from supposedly multiple rockets that were fired from Yemen, and the military claims that they were being targeted towards Israel. We're going to take a look. So first, let's actually look at the Carney. So this is the USS Carney here. What we can tell by this is that it's a smaller destroyer. We can see the Spy 6 radar domes here on the front starboard side. Now, what we need to see is exactly what this has. Now, we do know that it has an a Spy 1. Okay, the Spy 1 here, you can see the Spy 1s. Those are what I was saying, Spy 1s and Spy 6s. Those are those panels on the actual ship. We know that that has a range of about 170 nautical miles. It also has Spy 6. The Spy 6 itself has a range of about 120 to 130 nautical miles. And again, these are very, very similar here to the Spy 1s. For the armament, and we look at the missiles for this, they have the Mark 141s. These are harpoons. What the harpoon is that it's basically similar to like a railgun in a way for the launching mechanism here. This here is about 64 nautical miles, okay? And we see here it also has um the CRAM CIWS. And what that is that is a close weapon support here. The CRAM is very, very close range. You can see it right there. A lot of people look at the gun on top. They refer to this as like Star Wars, you know, the bzzz as it comes out. This is close. This is a close intercepted weapon system. 5 nautical miles is all it has for a range. We look here at the RIM 66 and the RIM 156. Now, this is the RIM 66 here. Operational range is about 40 to 92 nautical miles, and it mounts on the rail there. And you also have the RIM 156. The RIM 156 here is it does base itself off of the SM2 block, but it's a Block 4 weapon. But typically here, as we can see through missile threat, you know, and over here RTX, it's about 90 nautical miles for the SM2. So it's about 90 nautical miles. Given what we do know, let's place where the Carney is, okay? So we're going to say, because we know based off of reports given and some intel that has been sent to the media here, this is where the U.S. Carney was. The USS Carney was stationed right out here in the Red Sea, and it was down south of Israel. Okay, now we're going to do this here in real time with you. And switch this nautical miles. Again, we're gonna go with our first ones here, which is the Spy 1 for 170 nautical miles. So this here is the intercepted range. Okay. The radar, this will be Spy 1. Okay. So that's Spy 1. Now we want to do one, again, I'm going to the maximum here so we can kind of figure out what's happening. 130 nautical miles. That didn't take. Right about there is good. And this is radar. This is Spy 6 that it has. Now we are going to be looking at weapon ranges. So we do know that the harpoon, again, has about 64 nautical miles of intercepted range. So this was the harpoon. And we're going to change the color here to green. Okay, that was the harpoon. We're going to do 5 nautical miles, which is our CIWS. There we go. That was our CIWS. Okay. And now we start looking here into the rims. Again, The first one here is about 90, 92 nautical miles. So this one here will be our, we shall use purple for this. And this was our RIM 66M SM2. And we got to go 130 nautical miles. Okay. And that was our RIM 156. So what we can see here is we have our range. So these two outer bands here are our radar for the Carney, where the Carney would be able to intercept all of this actually. Okay. And then we look at our close range. Close range is fairly good for where the Carney was, but now we gotta look at Yemen, okay? This is where we get a little interested. Because when you start looking here at what the capabilities are, Yemen said that they were, or what we expect was that they were trying to get from Yemen down here, even from south up to here, you know, if they were to fire directly this way into southern Israel, they would have had to come up with, as we look here, kilometers, basically 2,200 kilometers, okay? And right there, when we start looking, we got the Carney, that's radar 1, that's radar 2. It could have possibly intercepted between a 66M and also a 156 could have got it there. But the thing is, we have to look at 2,200 kilometers. Okay, so that's our max for it to go. Here's what I want to show you though. Even up here, to basically get into the range of that, that's still 1,800 kilometers, give or take. But when you actually look at this, look, this is the weapons here. The biggest weapon that they have is range of 1,400 kilometers. Okay, with the Hatsia. Or the Haveza, sorry, the Havezet. So, 1,400 kilometers? Okay, well let's take a look here. 1,400 kilometers, even from the most northern portion to here. Where's 1,400 kilometers? Well, the Carney was right in that range, almost. But this right here is 1,400 kilometers, okay? 1,400 kilometers. Look at that. So, if we look here, that is the max range from the most northern point there. So if we were to even move this and say, hey, right here's where I did that from. You know, right there. Again, it's still something that we have to look at is even their biggest weapon could not have hit Israel in any way, shape, or form. 1,400 kilometers. You had to get an additional 400 to 600 kilometers to reach into Israel to where the actual fighting's happening, which is way up in this area. So either they were given some special types of weapons, or this is all one big cover-up, which we don't know. But this is what the Carney had for the interception range, was these two outer bands here. These two outer bands. I don't know. Something doesn't sit right with me when we actually look into this. Something just does not sit right with me.